Hello, everyone. Welcome to Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel on what is truly a very, very sad occasion for the Elvis community. I haven't actually prepared anything for tonight. I don't even know how you can actually prepare for something like this. I've been dreading this all weekend, this broadcast. I'm normally excited, as you probably know, to speak to everybody and to do the quiz and, just all the Elvis fun. But the events of Thursday obviously have taken all that away from us. And it's obviously the darkest time. I think it's the darkest time since the 16th of August, 1977, simply because Lisa was the closest we have to Elvis, and now she's gone. It's literally like losing Elvis all over again. I had to use this backdrop because that is probably one of the most favorite pictures of Elvis and Lisa, if not the favorite of mine. The way they're just looking at each other, the way she's sort of laughing and smiling at him and they're looking into each other's eyes. He's so handsome and she's so pretty. But it's a hard one to look at today. It really is a hard one to look at. As everybody, I'm sure, is aware, I was deeply shocked when I awoke to the news of Lisa Marie's passing on Friday morning. Because of the time difference where I am in Ireland, the news broke when I was in bed asleep, so I woke up to the news. And I'd like to thank everybody that did actually, friends and members of this community, and also members of my family as well. They actually just checked in on me and asked me, was I okay, and had I heard the news and everything like that. So it's comforting also to think that people realize how much it would have affected me. As I say, I've just made a few wee notes, and I do have some comments from fans left on the picture that I posted earlier on. So I will be reading those out in a few minutes. And I will open the phone lines. You can call me free on WhatsApp. The number's on there. Instagram and Messenger as well, Facebook Messenger. If there is anything you want to say, if you want to say to me, or you would even want to say to Lisa, or anything that you feel about this situation. Obviously, heartfelt condolences to Priscilla, Riley, Harper and Finley. They're now 14-year-old twins that have no mother. Let's not forget that. And of course, also condolences to anyone that was close to her. Billy Smith, of course, as well, and Joe. I resisted jumping on straight away and doing something. I knew there would be an avalanche of videos from the press. Excuse me, this isn't easy. Yeah, an avalanche of videos and announcements from the media and the press and so forth, and of course other YouTube channels, which is obviously completely understandable. But I just wanted to step back and sort of keep my own thoughts about this to myself and let it sink in. Really, it hasn't really sunk in yet. It to me, it's almost surreal that this time last week I was sat here, we were talking about Lisa appearing at her dad's birthday celebrations in Graceland. I was talking to this lady here, Priscilla, who was in Graceland, and there she had her photograph taken with Lisa Marie, and Priscilla kindly called from the guest house as well, and I had her on last week's show. And I also found a video of this moment here where Priscilla was talking to Lisa Marie, and then she had her photograph taken, and I've sent that video on to Priscilla, and I hope that it gives her a little bit of comfort. I yeah. Um, I mean, I have been disappointed in some of the things I've seen over the last couple of days. There has been a certain amount. I mean, I don't wish to be mean spirited on this, but there has been a certain amount of bandwagon jumping, uh, like there is with a lot of media, high profile, famous people's deaths. The media will obviously seize on it. But it doesn't sit easy with me. And I think it's even worse because anybody with the Presley name, of course, he always did, when he was alive, he always drew a lot of attention. Then when he passed away, there was always the media frenzy about it. But, slickly produced videos and, dramatic music and visual effects and all these things, it just doesn't sit easy with me. So I just sort of kind of step back. I mean, I was in no position to do something immediately after she passed away anyway, because I wouldn't have been able to have concentrated on anything really. It was just, it was so shocking. That's not knocking anybody that did post videos on YouTube and things like that. I mean, I can understand why they did it, but I'm telling you why I didn't do it. And I just waited until tonight, the usual time when I would do a video. Now I was unsure whether I would do even a show tonight. But I thought at the same time, it would be letting the community down if I didn't. And of course, I know that you come on and you talk in the chat there. So I thought I'd better come on and at least say hi and let you know how shocked I was about it. There was one particular video which I took umbrage about. And it was the one where they were saying that Priscilla had arrived at the hospital, and there was dramatic music, and there was pictures of Priscilla getting out of an SUV and so forth. And for some reason, they had to comment on what she was wearing and the color of her purse and so forth. I mean, I have no idea what what difference it made what she was wearing, what purse she was carrying. I mean, to me, that just it shows a lack of respect, if anything else, to Lisa Marie. That was obviously at the time that this was happening. She was fighting for her life. But that's the media for you, and they also started to speculate even before she was nearly cold where she would be buried. Now, it's been confirmed that she will rest in the meditation garden next to Ben, or even with Ben, because I'm not sure. I did hear a rumor that she's going to be cremated, but I'm not too sure. But to me, I don't think things like that need to be discussed. So they are, they're also sort of saying about, when will we find out how she died and all this, and sort of they've come out and said that it was cardiac arrest unofficially. That's probably officially what killed her, but I firmly believe, I am convinced that Lisa Marie Presley died of a broken heart. If it wasn't bad enough losing her father when she was 9, but then to lose her son Benjamin, I do firmly believe that that's what ultimately killed Lisa Marie, was a broken heart, and I do believe you can die from a broken heart. I know we've only seen her recently, obviously at the celebrations for Elvis's 88th, and then at the Golden Globes. Personally, myself, I did think she looked a little frail, but not to the extent where I was expecting the news 2 or 3 days later that she'd passed away. It's just, it's, to me, it'll be a long time before I actually get my head around it. And as I said earlier in this broadcast, it is almost like losing Elvis again, because she was so much like him. She was the nearest thing we had to Elvis. So yeah, I really do think that she died of a broken heart. There will be lots of nonsense, I believe. That's another thing I wanted to say to you, and I wanted to just kind of make you aware and maybe warn you. But I know you know as well as I do that there will be an awful lot of nonsense surrounding this occurrence over the next, well, probably months and months. It'll run for a few months because, as you know, once the press get the bit between their teeth, they'll keep regurgitating stuff and they'll keep inventing stuff and so forth, and you'll see the same thing over and over and over again, but just with a different headline picture, and they'll just sort of jumble the details around a little bit, but it will be exactly the same story, and there'll be a lot of clickbait as well. So it's a little bit like myself. I kind of try and sort of separate the wheat from the chaff and stuff like that. I mean, there was even a story going around today that Graceland now will be closing because Lisa has passed on. I mean, where do they get this information from? Are they just making this stuff up? I mean, why would a lucrative business, if you like Graceland, why would they close something like that down? There's no need for it. It will be passed on from Lisa probably to Riley and to Harper and Finlay, but there'll be no need to actually close that down because they know how much the fans rely on visiting Graceland. They're not going to. Somebody says false news all for clout. Well, of course it is. It's clickbait, and every time an Elvis fan or somebody, not even an Elvis fan, just somebody that's interested in reading about Elvis and Lisa, when they click on that, of course, it makes them money, and the advertisers give them money. So yes, it is done for money. Another thing that somebody suggested to me yesterday, I'd like to run this past you all, is a floral tribute from Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel. If we can get one sent to Graceland, if we can all chip in maybe and pay for one. Now, the only thing is because I'm in Ireland, it would be very, very hard for me to coordinate that. So I'm looking just for if somebody can help the channel out here in Memphis, if they can contact me and say they would be willing to help out, because what we need to do is we need to set up a GoFundMe or some sort of donation website, and then we put money into it, and then that person contacts the florist in Memphis and gets it sent to the meditation garden, and then the person that who has kindly helped the channel, if they take a photograph of the floral tribute in situ for everybody, and then I can post it on the channel for everybody. So you can let me know maybe next week. I'll mention that again next week, and you can let me know how many of you are interested in maybe doing a floral tribute for Lisa Marie, and to go into the meditation garden. Patrick says that would be great. Kirsty says lovely idea. I'm in. Okay, so would love to send flowers. Okay, Salam. Yeah. So if somebody can help me out who's in Memphis, because I really do believe that it would be easier to coordinate somebody locally doing it, just taking the responsibility to set up the GoFundMe or whatever it is, because I've never done that actually, and then also maybe going to the meditation garden when the thing arrives and just take a quick picture for us. We'll revisit that next week if somebody can contact me between now and next Sunday to volunteer to help, because that's the way I think would be the best place to do it. I'm sure they will be bombarded with flower requests. Yeah, of course. I mean, that makes perfect sense. I saw a news item on the television here the other day, and that people were tying floral tributes and so forth to the music gates. So it's nice. Would a donation to her charity afford grieving be an idea also. Yeah, well, if people would prefer to donate to one of her charities, we could do that instead. So let's see. But although I do think that the floral tribute would be nice. But let's not decide on anything tonight, because if you're like me, you're still the head is still a little bit all over the place because of the news. So if we can all have a think about it, but the main thing would be is maybe to get somebody that can help us out in the Memphis area. Could possibly raise enough to do both. Yes, well, that's right. I mean, it's not so much about the amount that we're going to raise, but I would just like something nice to show that her fans are thinking of her. And Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel, the community, which is a great community, I must admit. It's just, I'm glad I could come on here tonight and talk with everybody, because not everybody understands. I did see an actual comment there from somebody saying that their husband or their boyfriend or somebody said that they thought they were going a little bit overboard with Lisa Marie's death. But the thing is unless you're an Elvis fan, I don't think a lot of people understand the effect that it can have on you, because she was the last sort of main link that we had between ourselves and Elvis. So that's as much really. I just made a few wee sort of pointers that I wanted to mention, and I've kind of got through those as much as I could. What I will do is I'll open the phone line in case somebody. Let's see now. How do I do this? I'm all a bit of a fluster here. In case somebody wants to ring in to say something to Lisa, to say something to me, just to get anything off their chest. If they feel that they just want to vent about anything, or just get something off their chest about the last couple of days, then you can ring in on that number, WhatsApp. You can ring on Instagram and, of course, Facebook Messenger. I've just realized, actually, the Facebook Messenger isn't too clear there, because it's nearly the same color as Elvis's trousers and jacket, his suit. I wanted to read some of your comments that you left when I posted that there would be a live show tonight against a photograph of Lisa. Bossa Nova Baby says, no more pain or heartbreak for Lisa. God rest her soul. Our thoughts go out to her family. Glad she at least got a bit of solace with her ex, Danny Keogh, after Ben's passing. Also glad Austin Butler gave her a bit of happiness too before she passed. Yeah, she did. She did look very, very pleased and happy and emotional at the Golden Globes, because it was being done for Elvis, her father, and she felt that Austin had got it right. Corey says, our last connection to her father. Yes, that's what I've been saying. So tragic. Bless her heart. She's in her father's arms now forever. Doug Dickerson, hi Doug, says, warmest thoughts to the Presley family and the global Elvis family. Dennis Brayboy, hi Dennis, says, my heart is broken. So sad to hear that Lisa is gone, but I will always remember her just like I do her daddy. R.I.P. Lisa, you will be missed. Hello.
Hello, Steve.
Hello, you've come up as a different number today.
Yes, my actual number.
I know I'm not really going to ask how you are, because it's obvious how everybody's feeling at the moment.
Yeah, but down in the dumpster and feeling utterly devastated.
Yeah. Where were you when you found out about the news?
I actually woke up the next morning at home, and because I sent out a pressing for her the night before, woke up and saw someone say R.I.P. and I was like, oh no, don't tell me she's passed. And the portal went on, and
Yeah, so you were at home, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. It's not a very good line, unfortunately. You're breaking up.
All right, I can try call back on Messenger quickly.
Yeah, okay. All right.
All right, mate.
Talk to you in a few
All
minutes. All right. Yeah, unfortunately, that was. I don't know what you thought, but I couldn't make very little out of what Maxine was actually saying. Unfortunately, Jimmy D says absolutely heartbreaking. R.I.P. Lisa Marie. You are reunited. I'll start again. You are reunited with Ben and your dad in heaven. So that's another nice one. Thanks, Jimmy D. Let's just see now if Maxine actually calls back. I wanted to show, there was a lot of pictures, actually, obviously a lot of pictures of Lisa posted over the last couple of days, and also Elvis and Lisa. And this one in particular, and I'd like to thank Seth Mallin for allowing me to use this. This is Seth Mallin's picture that caught my eye. Out of all the pictures that actually was posted, this one really, really caught my eye. She's obviously dressed in the same dress as she is on my favorite picture, and he's in the blue suit as well. But they're walking towards the sun. You can see that the shadows are behind them, so they're walking into the sun, sort of the sunset, and you can just see Graceland on the horizon. So out of all the pictures, that one really, really resonated with me. And I think you might agree that that is just a beautiful picture. And as I say, again, thanks to Seth Mallin for allowing me to show that. I wanted to get permission from him because I didn't just want to use it without asking him. And he said, by all means, but just mention my name. Right. We've got Elvis Presley and the legend TCB always says, we will miss you, sweet angel, but you will be in our hearts forever. Now fly high and rest in your dad's and your son's loving arms. Vilma Morrow says his little princess has joined him in heaven. Rest in heavenly peace in the arms of your father, son and grandparents. Sweet dreams, Lisa Marie. I must admit, all these are very, very nice comments. Very nice comments. Riley Aaron says, she was awesome. I am so glad Priscilla got to see her at the birthday celebration. I know it was a dream come true for her. R.I.P. Lisa Marie. Prayers go out to your family. Yes, this photograph here, it just seems so unreal to think that this time last week we were discussing Priscilla meeting Lisa at the birthday celebration, and Priscilla rang in and told us all about it, and she was so excited. And now here we are this week. It's, yeah. David Lund says no words. He just has no words. Shocked like the rest of us. John McDonald says, you are so right. She was his everything, and so sad. Much heartbreak to his family. Okay, we'll see who this is. Hello.
Hello, Steve. Sorry, but my messenger isn't working.
Okay, actually, you're coming through a little bit louder now. Actually, that's okay.
Oh, good.
So yeah, so you were at home then when you found out about the news.
Yeah.
And you probably just couldn't believe it, could you? You'd obviously heard that she'd been rushed to hospital, yes?
No. I just couldn't do anything.
Say that again.
I couldn't do anything that day. It was just horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think that now she's reunited with Elvis and she's reunited with Ben as well, and obviously her granny and granddad Vernon and Gladys?
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
Take away, but she's not suffering anymore.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, a lot of people have said that she's not suffering anymore. Okay, unfortunately, the line's still not great, so I'll have to let you go. Unfortunately.
All right then.
All right, but thanks, Maxine, for calling in.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye. Yeah, that's a shame. Unfortunately, the line wasn't that great, but I could get the gist of what Maxine was saying. She was saying that she just, when she found out, she just couldn't do anything for the rest of the day. And she does believe that Elvis was there to welcome Lisa and Ben and Vernon and Gladys. It's like a reuniting of the The Presleys. So John McDonald says, because I said that Lisa was Elvis's everything. There's somebody here, I think, trying to call, actually. So let me try something here. Okay. Jordan Henry says, I'm trying to get on. So, here it is. Yeah. Hello.
Hello. I'm just watching your stream there now. Actually, right now about Lisa Marie.
Yeah, and who is calling?
Me, Jordan Henry.
Oh, hiya, Jordan. Yeah, I know you were having trouble getting through. Well, I just allowed you through because I think I had to accept you as a friend, you see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually watching you right now while you're talking.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah. It's devastating about Lisa Marie. I woke up, believe it or not, I got about 200 messages the morning that Lisa Marie died. Because a lot of my friends know I'm an Elvis fan, and they said they're just sorry, and it goes out to the prayers for Priscilla and Lisa and all. But it's just so sad that the fact that Lisa Marie will no longer be here. I mean,
yeah,
I worry.
I agree with you because she was always our touchstone, wasn't she? She was always our go-to when we, when we were. I'm struggling to sort of. The way I'm trying to think here is, when we wanted to sort of connect with Elvis, we used to go to Lisa, really, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm still, after a couple of days of her being gone, I'm still speechless. I just can't believe, I can't fathom the fact that she'll no longer be here and we'll no longer see her beautiful smile and her. She's at peace now, so,
you see, to me, there's echoes of what happened in August 1977. It was so sudden. We'd seen Elvis. People had seen him in June, then he'd sort of taken a few weeks off, but people had seen him driving in and out of Graceland, and then he came home from the dentist. People saw him driving into Graceland, and then he was gone. And the same with Lisa. Yeah. She was at Graceland. She probably spent the night at Graceland. That would have been her last night at Graceland. And then she was at the Golden Globes, and then she was gone. It's just, there is echoes.
The thing is, I was the night before, I watched the Golden Globes to see if Austin would win, and he won, and he gave that heart, speech about, Lisa and Priscilla or Nothing's Forever. And then the next day, Lisa's gone, and I'm like, well, this is sad. Like, this is extremely sad. This is just not only sad for Lisa's family, but it's sad for all Elvis fans around the world, because not only have we lost Lisa, but we've lost Elvis and we lost Benjamin. God forbid anything happens to Priscilla. That's right.
Well, it'll be very, very hard on Priscilla now to live after this, because, I mean, it's just devastating to lose a child. It just must be unfathomable.
Absolutely. I'm just like, I'm still so, I can't get over it that she was there one day and now she's not here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so sudden. When I heard the news that she'd been rushed to hospital, I was just hoping that she would pull through, obviously, as everybody was. And then to wake up the next morning and her gone, I was just, I could not believe it. And I still can't believe it.
The last thing that I heard from Lisa was she was in critical condition and she might be okay. I went to sleep, woke up the next morning. Everybody that I knew from my family texted me saying, I'm sorry, Jordan, about Elvis's daughter. And I sat in my room for about 5-10 minutes being like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, that's right. It's one of those surreal things where you really think, is this happening? especially as we'd only seen her so recently. I mean, I did think she looked a little frail, but then again, you know, there's frail and then there's just passing away so quickly. It's just it's shocking. It really is. Do you mind me asking what part of the world are you from?
I'm part from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, I can hear the accent actually. Yes.
Yeah, I'm part of Northern Ireland.
Did you have you ever made it to Graceland?
No, I've never made it to Graceland. I've only been an Elvis fan for a couple of years. I only started listening to Elvis when I was 18.
Okay.
So I'm fairly new to Elvis.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love Elvis. I mean, like, he's the greatest rock and roll singer of all time, and
yes.
There's a reason why he's called the king of rock and roll.
Yes.
Because there's no other music like him.
Well, I hope you do make it to Graceland one day. I speaking from personal experience, you know, there's nothing like it. I mean, you will remember it for the rest of your life when you go. Priscilla said that she will remember it for the rest of her days, and especially meeting and talking to Lisa.
Yeah. The funny thing is, the last song that I listened to the night before was the duet with her and Elvis.
Oh yes.
And I think it's My Happiness.
Oh yeah. And then they did they did another one as well, Where No One Stands Alone as well. That's worth listening to.
I think Lisa did a cover of The Wonder of You. Oh
right. I don't think I've heard that. I might search that.
Yeah, it's on the Elvis Presley YouTube channel.
Okay. All right, Jordan. Well, thanks very, very much for ringing in. It's a pity the first time we get to speak to you, it's under such sad circumstances. But maybe next time it'll be happier circumstances.
Yeah, I've been a fan of the channel for a year or so. Just I never really thought to like call in.
Yeah.
But you know, I had to give my £2 into this.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Jordan.
And God bless everyone.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Thanks to Jordan for calling in. And it's nice to hear that, you know, we have new fans coming on as well, because Jordan said that he'd only been a fan for a couple of years. Right. Yeah. How far did I get? John McDonald. Yes, I was trying to read this one, wasn't I? I'd said on my picture that Lisa was everything to Elvis, and he says, you're so right, she was everything. So sad, much heartbreak for his family. Thank you for doing all this work, giving up your time. It is much appreciated, John and Anne. Well, it's, you know, I love every minute of it. I mean, obviously I'm not loving this at the moment simply because of the sad circumstances, but all in all, doing this is great. It really is. And I couldn't do it without the community and the fans that watch these videos. Anne Weiss says her pain and suffering is over. She once again reunited with her beloved father, darling son and family members she never got to know. Rest peacefully, Lisa. My heart and prayers are with you and those you left behind. Hello.
Hi, Steve.
Hello.
My name is Mary. I'm calling from the United States, actually Ohio.
Well, welcome, Mary. Welcome to the show.
I've been an Elvis fan since I was 12. Elvis was 2 when I passed away, or when he passed away. And I will always be, as far as I'm concerned, top artist.
Yes.
I will ever listen to.
Yeah.
So I was at home when I got the news that she was rushed to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Then my husband was in the bedroom, and he just says, "You're not going to believe it." I'm like, she died. And I'm like, my goodness gracious, and I cried.
Mm.
And I think that if you're not an Elvis fan, you're not going to understand the emotions.
No, you're not. No.
Because you're sad. You're so sad for Priscilla. I know there's going to be negativity, but we have to remember that Priscilla's lost a daughter. And
yes.
These children have lost their mother.
Exactly. That's why people, I can never understand how anybody could be disrespectful at this time, because at the end of the day, no matter what your thoughts on anything else are, is this 14-year-old girl, twin daughters that have no mother now. Riley has lost her mother. Priscilla has lost her daughter. You know, it's just unfathomable that anybody could be disrespectful at this time.
And she's lost her grandson just a little bit ago.
Yes.
I mean, it's so raw.
Yes.
And correct. I know that Lisa Marie took a long time she wanted to state her own way and make a name for herself, but she took such a long time to come to the point where she did the duet. I was actually I think it was the 20th anniversary of his passing, and I was in the auditorium when the Don't Cry Daddy was played.
Oh, yes.
And it was played for that audience in that arena. And Priscilla came back out and said, who wants to hear that again? And it was played again. There wasn't a dry eye in the place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I thought the best vocal she ever did was with her dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, she did nice music, but them two together, it was just like, I wish she had done more, because it was just beautiful, the two of them, when they would sing together.
Yeah. Do you think, like I thought, that she probably died of a broken heart?
I think to some degree, yes. I don't think there's people that say, oh, she looked wonderful at the Golden Globes. I don't think she looked right.
Well, I think she looked frail. She had been doing a lot of traveling, of course. She had to travel over from, she was on the West Coast. She lived on the West Coast, didn't she? So she had to travel to Memphis. And then after Memphis, she had to travel back to the West Coast for the Golden Globes. Is that correct?
I think so. But she looked off. She sounded off. Whether that was anything. And even the gentleman that interviewed her said he tried to get her to come up and step up, and she couldn't. She looked pale. She just didn't, something was off. Yeah. And there was people there that night that said something was off with her.
I know. I know she asked if she could hold Jerry Schilling's arm.
Yes.
But I mean, you know, she would have been very, very tired after all that traveling as well. So, you know, I just, she looked frail, but no way did I expect what came the last on Thursday. I just did not expect that. And even when they said that she'd been taken to hospital, what I expected was for her to be in hospital for a while and then to come home and get well. That's what I expected.
Well, especially when they said they got a heartbeat again.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't think she was going to go to the hospital and not make it through.
And I mean, 54 is no age, really. I mean, I know they say Elvis 42. That was no age as well, but 54 in this day and age, 54 is no age. No, it's still hard to comprehend.
We lost both of them too young.
Yes.
We lost Elvis way, way too young, and her way too young.
Yes.
And she, people could say, oh, she had a glamorous life and she had all this, but both Elvis and both her, even though they had all the money and all the fame and all the glamour, they still had hardships. It wasn't an easy road by any stretch of the means.
Oh, no, definitely not.
No. And when I'm talking to people that have no idea, oh, well, I like Elvis or something like that, I always go to what he did and all the stories that, the generosity part of Elvis, that people don't realize that he did this and he did that. You've got to look past all the other stuff and look at his heart.
Yes, that's correct. Now, don't forget that Lisa wrote a song called Nobody Noticed It. And one of the words or one of the lines says, nobody realized what you had to endure. So, I mean, a lot of people just didn't realize what Elvis had to endure. And of course, Lisa herself, if he had to endure things, she had to endure it the same.
Well, they wanted her to be Elvis and they wanted Benjamin to be Elvis, and there can't be another Elvis.
No.
There was one.
Yeah.
There's not going to be another one.
And Elvis himself said, it's very hard to live up to an image. He said that, didn't he, at the Madison Square Garden?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mary, thanks very much for ringing in. As I said to Jordan as well, it's sad that the first time we've spoke to you is on this occasion. I hope you can call back again in happier times.
Well, I will be an Elvis fan until I leave this world. And when I have grandchildren down the road, they're going to know who he is. They don't have to like him.
Exactly.
They don't have to like his music, but they'll know who Elvis is, because that's the only way we're going to continue his legacy, is to do it with younger people and let them know not only who his music was, but who he was.
Yes.
And what he did.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more to him than the jumpsuits and the music.
Definitely.
And that's what we have to, to tell people.
Yeah.
So my condolences to Priscilla and the girls and their family, and may God be with them right now. Our prayers are certainly with all of them.
Well said. Thanks, Mary. Thanks for calling in.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, thanks to Mary for calling in. Just want to make sure that I haven't missed any other calls. No, it looks like we're okay. Yeah, I've spoken to Jordan, so I can clear that off. Yeah, it looks like we're there is a man called Marcus who wants, it looks like he's trying to call in. Marcus, if you do want to call in now, you can. Yeah. It does look like Marcus does want to call in. Let me just check that. Hello? Okay, well, we'll give Marcus a try, because he said he did want to ring in, and also there's another lady here as well, which I think we will be interested in talking to. If I can find her number. Here we go. Let's try it. That's a shame. I was telling you about a lady called Priscilla that we spoke to last week. And Priscilla is actually trying to call, but for some reason, and I don't know why, my phone is actually crashed. And I might just try again. Hello?
Hey, Steve.
Is that Priscilla?
It is. I had to do WhatsApp, Steve.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, no, my phone actually crashed. There's a couple of people there that are actually saying they're trying to call. So what I might do is try and call them back after you and I have had a chat. So, yes, for anybody that wasn't anybody that wasn't watching last week, Priscilla was actually in Graceland last week, weren't you?
I was in a parallel universe, Steve.
It's almost surreal to think that this time last week you and I were talking about this photograph here being taken that I'm showing everybody now, and now we're talking about Lisa's death.
So I felt the most unimaginable elation. Like, I just couldn't believe I was lucky enough to even get there. You know, it was excuse me. It was a lifelong dream.
Yeah, of course it was.
And then to be fortunate enough to get to the birthday proclamation, which I didn't think I'd get within a stone's throw of. And then to get to speak to her.
Yes.
I just, you know.
And did you get that?
4 days later.
Did you get the video that I sent you today?
I did, Steve. Thank you.
That's definitely actually, you, I think, isn't it?
It is definitely me. Somebody else had sent me that video, or because I know what I said, so I can hear it. So she stopped, and I said I'm from Ireland, and she goes, "Oh, I love Ireland."
Yeah.
And she was still signing that other lady's autograph. And then I said, "Could I please get a picture?" And she said, "Oh yeah, sure. What do you want me to do?" And I went, "What you want me to do? You can hit me if you want. Just take the picture."
I can hear that actually. You saying you can hit me if you want. I can hear that on the video. Yeah.
Yeah, and she laughed and she smiled at me, and I said, "Thank you very much, Lisa." I touched her arm. I said, "We love you," and she said, "I love you too."
I know. I can hear all that. Yeah. I saw that on, I think it's Elvis Presley Fans in Nashville, I think it is, if anybody wants to look that up. But what I can do afterwards, I still have the link, so I might just drop the link below this video. If anybody wants to see that, that's Priscilla getting this picture that's on the screen now taken.
I just can't believe it.
I know.
And yes, everything everybody said tonight is so true. It's like when we lost Elvis.
Yeah.
I didn't lose Elvis the same time as ye.
Yeah.
Because I was 5.
Yeah.
Now, I knew my mom was very sad, and I knew something big had happened. I actually had to go through the loss of Elvis when I found him.
Yeah.
Which sounds ridiculous now. I'm so fortunate to have had the time to actually get there. I suppose it's so funny to feel so grief-ridden for someone that you technically didn't know personally.
No, I mean, obviously you met her briefly, but I mean, I never met Lisa, but I was still shocked to the core when I heard, because I never met Elvis either, but I was shocked to the core.
Yeah.
Shocked to the core.
And she was true, she was a woman who was born into a world that was ridiculously unreal. But it was real because it was her world.
Yeah.
And she lived her entire life in the shadow of one of the greatest men to ever grace the planet.
Well, this is it.
For many reasons. So, any child will do, attempt to carve out their own space. And she did that. And I think she did that very admirably. And I mean, she inherited Graceland long before she did. And she said, "I'm not ready to take on that responsibility."
That's right. I think she kept putting it back and putting it back, didn't she?
Yeah. So she knew the importance of the legacy she was being entrusted with. Yeah. And I think, she did. I was surprised at how tiny she was. So everybody's saying she was frail. She's a tiny little thing. She's completely in proportion.
I know, and bless her. And she had boots on as well with big heels as well. But she still looked small.
She had heels on her that if I put them on, I'd be in A&E in 5 minutes if I fell over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the one thing she said from the stage, which on the day, and I've said it to my husband so many times, we both commented it on the day. She said, "You're the only people that can get me out of my house these days."
That's right. I saw that because I watched the birthday proclamation, and she said, "You're the only people that get me out of my house." Yeah.
Yeah. And you just think, every human being that walks this planet that has opened themselves up to love feels pain. Unfortunately, they walk hand in hand, Steve.
Of course they do, yes.
Every family feels pain, and I'm not to take from anybody's, but oh my God, it was clear that, in the last couple of years that she was virtually a recluse. She wasn't seen publicly. Her first public appearance was the premiere of the Elvis movie.
That's right.
So it's only in the last 6 months that she has come back. It's clear she was struggling, and you couldn't, if you were a stone, Steve, you wouldn't go through what she did. She lost her grandma in the last couple of months.
That's right.
Priscilla lost her mom. I mean, Navarone. I mean, Lisa Marie has a half brother.
That's right.
Anybody who there's a huge circle of people that's going to be affected by this. Jerry Schilling, look, we couldn't even name ourselves. And I sometimes think I found myself, we were in New York when we heard the news that she'd been taken ill. And we'd had a particularly long day of sightseeing and walking. And I fell asleep early. And maybe about 9 o'clock lying on the bed watching TV, and I woke up at 10:30. And Kevin told me she had died.
Yeah.
And Sophie sat up in the bed and said, Dad, I told you not to tell her till tomorrow.
Oh, no.
I don't think I closed my eyes again that night.
No, well, that's it. Once you hear something like that, I firmly believe that when I woke up the next morning on Friday morning, they'd say that, she was receiving treatment and she was improving. But to see that she died just completely wiped me out. I couldn't believe it.
If I was rolled over by a truck, Steve, I don't think I'd have been any more deflated.
Exactly.
I went from the best high, the unimaginable excitement and elation to unimaginable grief and pain. And for all the reasons, for my pain, for the losses I've had in my life, and for those things that have affected and shaped all of us, for Lisa Marie's children. I'm a mom, she has teenage daughters. For Riley, the responsibility that now sits on her shoulders.
That's right.
Remember,
That's
Riley
right.
now has buried her great-grandma and her brother, now her mother, and the responsibility falls to her.
That's right. That's right. I'm sure. I mean, people were saying, they think that Graceland will close now and everything like that. I think that's the last thing that will happen. It will stay open for a lot.
I'm going to tell you something now, Steve.
Years.
This is not meant in any disrespectful way. Graceland ain't closing, babe.
No.
It's
I mean, it is a lucrative
machine.
business. Exactly.
It's a license to print money.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly. I loved every second of it because for me it was a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And it was worth every second and every penny of what I spent. And I spent a lot. Like Kevin was in awe of it. My, 18-year-old daughter, who has no choice but to love Elvis because she's my daughter, and she was impressed by it. And it's very hard to impress 18-year-olds these days,
yeah,
Steve.
It is, yeah.
Now, she's a lovely girl. She's not a bit like her mother. But it was fantastic. I walked to the meditation garden every day, bar one, every morning.
Yeah.
I went to the gate at midnight. On the Saturday night, John Daly had his exhibition in the Holiday Inn down the road where I mentioned Danny Smith, Tish Henley, Sherry Lacker and all of them, and they have it was a lovely thing to go to.
Yeah.
But he gave out bells at that event and at the gate, and so a crowd gathered at the gate at midnight, and at midnight we all sang Happy Birthday to Elvis
at
the gates of Graceland.
That's lovely. Yeah, that's a lovely touch. Lovely touch.
Like, I had the most amazing. I met people. I met Tracy. I met the girl who recognised me sitting in the lobby. I was sitting on a couch in the lobby in the guest house, and she came up and she goes, I know who you are. And I went, nah, I don't think you do, babe. And she did. Because from this channel, from calling in.
All right.
I met lots of other ladies whom we've had constant contact all week, because the first half of the week was sharing pictures that each of us had of each other, and
that's one thing about
through social media.
Yeah, that's one thing about Elvis and Lisa Marie and all that, is the community that we can build thanks to them.
Oh, it's an Elvis family. There's no doubt about it. We met the most beautiful woman, Linda. She was sitting on a bench. We were walking back from the birthday proclamation. Now, I wasn't walking, Steve. I was floating, babe. I was on cloud line.
Yeah.
And there was another girl who had been in front of me at the meet and greet. And Lisa, she was sitting down talking to this other lady. And the other lady had the most beautiful Elvis earrings on. So they were like oval shapes, images with oval shapes with Elvis image on it. And I stopped and talked to Lisa that had been in the crowd at me, and the other lady started chatting. I goes, oh my gosh, I love your earrings. I said, Sophie, look at her earrings.
Yeah.
I said, Sophie loves earrings. She took her earrings out there and then and handed them to Sophie.
Wow.
I never met a woman before in my life.
That's
unreal. She said, you have them? I said, oh, what? No. She said, no, I have another pair. You have them.
Unreal. Well, under such circumstances, unfortunately sad circumstances, but it's nice to hear those stories, and it's nice to hear that you did have a great time. And of course, the creme de la creme was meeting Lisa.
Well, come here. Like, as devastated as I was, I'm glad I was there and I got the chance.
Yeah.
I'm not taken from any of this. I am devastated. Like,
yes.
I can't, I swing from crying and elation. And I think people out there, in the Elvis family, and that's what they are.
Yeah.
We're all grieving. We've all had a loss.
That's true.
But we must keep to the fore. I have two friends actually, and I saw them on social media today, where there was stories posted, about how much in debt this was and what was happening. And both of my friends who are not Elvis fans, one of them I'm getting there. I'm working on her.
Yeah.
She had just put underneath it clickbait on a couple of these stories.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh, thank God, people have the sense to know not to engage in that kind of negativity or that kind of sensationalist.
Yeah. I mean, there will be a lot of, I said earlier on in the show, there will be an awful lot of clickbait about this over the next few weeks and months. So that's one thing to be wary of. All right, Priscilla, thanks very much for calling in.
All right, Steve. I'm sending you lots of love.
Thanks very much.
To everybody else. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Priscilla. Bye-bye. Yeah, it must be very, very strange for Priscilla to this time last week be meeting Lisa and now talking about Lisa's death. Okay, here we go. Hello.
Hi, Steve. It's Danny here.
Oh, hi, Danny.
Hi.
For anybody that doesn't know, Danny is related to Red Robinson, and you were on a few weeks ago telling us about Red setting up the concerts in Canada, weren't you? In Vancouver.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I was on your show in the summer there.
Yeah.
Or October. Yeah, it's pretty devastating. Just to let you know, I talked to Red Robinson about this, and he sent his condolences. He has a kind of a private line he always did to the Presley family, and he sent a beautiful email to the whole family about what happened.
Right.
I was very, very, very shocked. Actually, my of all people, my ex-wife told me what happened, and I was at work, so I couldn't believe what happened. Yeah, I'm into public relations, and I do a lot of interviews, a lot of celebrities here in Vancouver, and Priscilla and Lisa Marie. Well, Lisa Marie was here over 12, 13 years ago, promoting one of her albums, and our company got to interview her, and she was just so cooperative and so lovely and so nice and unbelievable lady.
She wasn't sort of playing the big I am. Do you know who I am? I'm Lisa Marie Presley. Yeah.
No, not at all. No. And she could read you right away. I mean, when she first met you,
right.
She just loves people. She really does. She's very guarded, of course, but she just loves people. And my memory of her was that it was funny because before the interview happened, we were just talking, and she told me that that she was just with another interview person, which she couldn't stand. And when she talks, she's got a little bit of Elvis's stuttering, right? And she was talking and she kind of stopped, and then kind of her right lip curls a little bit like her dad. And she just kind of giggled, and, she's kind of a nervous laugh, just like her dad used to have.
Yeah.
But no, this was really, really devastating, Steve.
Well, it was just the suddenness of it, I think. The fact that we saw her at Graceland, then we saw her at the Golden Globes, and then gone, just gone.
Yeah, just gone completely. There was a couple of friends of mine, like the last lady you were talking to, that were at her party, and they got their picture taken with her too. And she was just out mingling, apparently, just with all the people.
Yeah, she did. She spent a long time, apparently. Priscilla told me that she spent a long time meeting people and so forth, and taking photographs and signing autographs.
Yeah.
I mean, she must have been very, very, very tired by the time she got to the Golden Globes, because the interview she does, as somebody said, she didn't sound herself. I thought she looked a little bit frail, but not to the extent that I thought that we were going to lose her.
No, she didn't. She didn't look like herself. When I met her 12 years ago, I mean, she's totally different. I mean, it was 12 years ago. She looked absolutely. I mean, she's beautiful still, but she just looked, so different. But yeah, it's when I first actually saw a close up of her after that party, because I kind of watched it live. I did not believe how she looked. She didn't look good at all, and she was leaning onto Jerry Schilling there, and I know when she was walking away, she would grab his arm and start walking towards him, type of thing. So But you're right. I mean, we would all never guess that this would ever happened to her at this age. You know, and the funny thing is with Red Robinson is when Elvis died, he put out all these tapes, so like you got, and he was on the radio here in Vancouver for days and days and days and days, and he talked about praying that Lisa was okay. You know, praying that she was only 9 years old. I was 12, but she was saying, you know, like, I hope she's okay, and you know, this type of thing. But I tell you, Steve, it was a shocker.
Yeah, and it's still a shocker. I think it'll be a while before we even get our heads around it.
Yeah, I think so. I think we will. I'm just wondering though, and I did just concerned about what kind of medical history is in I guess part of the Gladys, like Elvis's mother's part of the side of the family. Is it to do with kind of bad heart conditions or, you know, that type of thing? I'm just not sure about that side of the family.
A lot of people have said that both the Presley and the Smith side of the families have weak hearts.
Oh, okay.
So it's, you know, it just certain things run in families, and it does seem to be that it's the hearts in the Presleys and the Smiths.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, just my condolences out to the whole family completely. Yeah. And they just really, you know, it was a real shocker, and I know Priscilla will pull through this. You know, she's a strong lady. Yeah, and
it's the twins, the 14-year-old twins as well. I really feel for, because I don't know whether people know this, but I'm a father of twins myself, 18-year-old girls. So it kind of resonates with me, that part.
Yeah, and Riley will be helping him. Yeah, she'll be helping him through. But I just wanted to phone into you, Steve, and just give my condolences and.
Well, thanks for that, Danny. I hope the next time we speak in happier circumstances anyway. Thanks for calling in. Alrighty.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thanks, Danny. As everybody might remember, he did ring in a few weeks ago. I thought it was, he said the summer, but I thought it was only a couple of weeks ago. But time goes by so fast as it is. And he was telling me about his relation, Red Robinson, setting up the Vancouver concerts. Hello.
Hi, Steve. It's Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. How are you?
Very shaken, actually.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better than I was when I first started, because talking to everybody and seeing all the comments and things like that has made me feel a bit better.
But there was an old program I came across about a week ago called Dead Famous DNA.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the programs they did was on Elvis Presley.
Uh-huh.
And they said they've done a genome with his hair. They found some of his hair.
Oh, yes.
From one of his barbers, and they've done a genome on that, and they decided that it was in his genetics to harbour bad habits, have poor eyesight, and have problems with his heart.
Yeah. Well, as I said to Danny just before you came on, as far as I'm aware, I think bad hearts do run in the Presley and Smith family.
And I think at some point along the line, they were actually cousins. Some generations back.
Yeah.
So none of that would have helped.
No.
Plus the fact being from a family that has lost somebody, I lost one of my brothers, and I think that's what made my mum ill. And then losing my mum has made my dad ill. So it does do that. Yeah.
Well, you see, this is what I said earlier on. I'm completely convinced that it was a broken heart that killed Lisa. I mean, the official line is probably cardiac arrest, but I just think that after Ben, you know.
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily killed her though, Steve, because she had other children to consider. So no parent, I believe, is that selfish to put one child over any of the others.
Yeah, well, she did say that she was carrying on for the children. She did, so you could be right saying that.
I don't think, I think the other children gave her the energy to keep going. If it was Ben alone, she would have been gone a long time ago, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
She would have been gone not long after.
All right, well,
it seems to be in the family. It seems to be in the family history.
Yes.
To harbour bad habits and die young, unfortunately.
Yeah. Very, very sad. All right, Sarah. Thank you very, very much.
I'm glad I managed to call. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
no
indeed.
problem. I'll talk to you again.
Yeah, I'm
Bye.
glad you're feeling a bit better.
Thanks. Bye. Bye. Yeah, I mean, that's maybe a topic for again, but it certainly does. Those sort of problems do sort of run in families and weaknesses and things like that. And 54 is no age at all to die of cardiac arrest. So I wanted. I'm gonna show this Seth Malin photograph again, because this, I was saying that of all the photographs that I'd seen over the last few days and drawings and paintings and so forth, this one resonated with me. So it's just such a lovely picture of Lisa and Elvis walking into the sunset towards Graceland. So I just want to do an adjustment here and say thanks very, very much to everybody that rang in tonight, and to everybody that's left comments and so forth. It's going to be a long time, I think, before we get our heads around this, if we ever do actually get our heads around it, because we've really never got our head around. Oh, well, hang on a second. We'll have a little talk here. Hello.
Hello, Steve. It's Mark.
Oh, hiya, Mark. How are you?
I'm all right. Well, I'm not all right. I'm a bit like you, but
yeah.
I just want to say thank you for coming on tonight and doing the show. In a mark of respect, mate.
Thank you very, very much. Yeah, I mean, I did consider just completely knocking it on the head and not doing anything, and then I thought, well, people will they'll want to come on, and they'll want to chat, and they'll want to, just because at the end of the day, you do actually the one thing you want to do when something like this happens is speak to other Elvis fans.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you do. It's nice that everybody's ringing in. When was it now? 2027 on the 30th anniversary. I happened to meet Lisa Marie.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I've actually got a signed picture of her with her autograph. So it was really a honour to meet her briefly and have all that.
She was probably as lovely as everybody says.
Yeah, she was. It's so sad as well. I think now that we've lost the two people that look so much like Elvis, obviously Lisa and her son.
Yeah.
They look spitting image of Elvis.
Yeah.
And it's just sad that they're both not here no more.
That's right.
It's tragic. It is. I was listening to the news on Thursday night. I just got my phone. I could see all these people putting things on Facebook. Oh, Lisa's been rushed into hospital and all this, and couldn't believe it. And then the feeds were coming on and different people. And then a good friend of mine just happened to privately message me and say, she's dead. I said, I don't know. Well, I said, well, he said that he went onto the Wikipedia site and punched in, and he actually said the date of her being born and the day and the time she died.
Right.
And he said to me, they don't usually lie on Wikipedia. So
that's right.
I was a bit like, oh God, and is it true or not, and obviously it must have been. I think she may have died like some people do, hours on end before, and they don't release anything until hours on end, like afterwards, or 12 hours afterwards. And it was shocking to learn when I got up in the morning and I put the news on that she had died.
Yeah, well, as I told a customer earlier, not a customer, as I called a caller earlier on, I expected to wake up Friday and hear that she was making a recovery and she'd be in hospital for a while and then she'd be sent home. I didn't expect.
I do, and I do agree with you, and I really do agree with you. I think she did die of a broken heart. I don't think she ever got over the loss of her son.
Yeah,
I don't think she did. I think she tried. I think she tried for her own children that were there, but she probably wasn't strong enough to do it. And I just think, like you see her towards the end, obviously, the last few clips you see. But I'm so glad that she got to see the success of the film, to see Austin receive the award.
Yeah.
You know, to be there at Graceland, you know, a lot of people say, yeah, she's there at Graceland for her dad's birthday, which is great. She was there, but people don't forget she's probably there, and she's had to go past her own son's grave.
That's right. I'm sure she visited the grave. Yeah.
And how does she feel? You know, when she has to go there.
Oh, okay. We've lost Mark. Oh, there is actually somebody else calling in. Actually, hello.
Hi. Good afternoon. This is Cindy calling from the U.S. How are you?
Oh, hi, Cindy. Nice to have you on the show.
Hi. Oh, thank you. Are we live?
Yes, we are.
Very, very nice. Thank you. Yes.
What would you like to say?
Yes, sir. Thank you for doing the live today about Lisa Marie.
No problem.
Just a couple of thoughts here from my end. I noticed pictures when she was back in June of this past year, 2022, at Grauman's Chinese Theater. She looked quite well.
Uh-huh.
You know, she was there with her family, her mother and her daughters, you know, putting their handprints and such into the cement. And then fast forward to the Golden Globes that just happened several days ago, but 2 days before she passed. And look how frail she was. She was as weak as a kitten. Everyone, Jerry, what was his name? Schiller, that was with her, she had to literally stay on his arm in order to be moved around, you know, the event.
Yeah.
And, you know, since she had a housekeeper and she had, I think, family living with her, I don't know if her ex-husband, Danny, or Michael were in the picture, but clearly they were around. Somebody should have noticed that she was very ill. When you see her photos from the Golden Globes, you see how pale she was. She had a change in her skin, in her hair, just from June. So we're only talking about 6.5 months. Somebody should have noticed that she was having abdominal pains. She was weak. She should have immediately had medical care at that point. She was obviously very weak, very frail, and symptomatic. And I just feel that this, you know, I don't know her personally. This is just my speculation. She looked very ill and very weak. And it's a shame that nobody scooped her up and said, let's go to the doctor. Let's have some basic blood work. Let's check you out to make sure this is not normal. Let's have an examination.
Okay.
And from what I understand also that there was an autopsy done. I don't know if they're waiting on toxicology reports. I don't know if it will be released to the public, but from what I understand, there was an autopsy done.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is like an echo of what people say about Elvis as well. Why didn't people get Elvis to an hospital? Because he was clearly unwell as well. I mean, what do you think the reasons are for that? Why do you think that Elvis didn't get the help he needed? And why do you think that you're saying that Lisa needed help? Why didn't she get the help that she needed?
Well, so for Elvis, I mean, he is, you know, an adult. He was, you know, a man. Clearly, you know, he was very, for lack of a better word, you know, controlling. People that worked for him for years, you know, were telling him, Elvis, we're concerned about you. Mm-hmm. And he really poo-pooed it. You know, my medication that I take is given to me by a doctor. But mm-hmm. clearly they could see, you know, when he had taken certain medications that, you know, there were changes in him, and his friends and people close to him that worked for him that had known him his whole life knew that something was wrong. But Elvis, you know, said, no, just let me handle my own health needs. Now, as far as Lisa Marie is concerned, you know, women are a little different. They're not always as headstrong when men are about going to the doctor and getting themselves, you know, checked out. So I just feel like somebody, either her mother or maybe her daughter, should have said to her, look, you're weak. You know, you're attending this event. Clearly, Jerry knew that something was going on. They knew that she was not well. And again, I'm speculating because I don't know them. They may have had a discussion with her, but I just feel like the ball was dropped. She should have had medical and intervention to at least get to the doctor. You know, clearly it is not a money issue. I'm sure that she had, money to pay a physician for an office visit or an urgent care visit to say, this is not normal. Please, let's run some diagnostics. Let's run some tests and see why I'm feeling so poorly. There was clearly a missed opportunity for that. And I genuinely feel for her mother and her daughters, anyone that was close to her. I'm just devastated by this, that this happened, because I feel like she should have had someone encouraging her, coaxing her to get checked out.
Yes. I mean, as you say, it was clearly she wasn't in the best of health at Graceland and the Golden Globes. Unfortunately, this is all hindsight now, but we'll see what the future brings, because we know for a fact that there will be a lot of stories coming out over the next few weeks. And but yeah, okay. Thanks for your call. I don't really know what much more to say. You've made some good points. I will say that. You've made some very good points.
Thank you.
And thanks for calling. And hopefully next time you call in, it'll be on a happier topic.
I agree. And thank you to you and to your listeners.
Thanks, Cindy. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
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 Okay, yeah. I see there's a super chat there from Hamilton. I want to say thank you to Steve and Elvis and the community for all you do. Sincere, heartfelt condolences to Priscilla, her girls, and all who loved her. Thanks, Hamilton. Okay, here we go. Hello, Salam.
Hi, Steve. How's it going?
Well, not too bad, I must admit. Not too bad now. I do feel a lot better now since speaking to some fans.
Yeah, I just wanted to call and, we're all thinking about those girls, her daughters. I'm close to Riley's age, and my mom is actually close to Lisa Marie's age. So just last week I was telling a coworker of mine, if anything happened to my mom, I wouldn't survive it. I wouldn't be able to go on because I'm very close to my mom. So I just immediately thought of her, just because we're just close in age, and then Lisa's the similar age to my mom. So I just can't imagine. And then let alone the 14-year-old girls. So I think people need to, the family needs to be left alone. Let them grieve, let them mourn. And the media is just crazy all over the place. Like, I couldn't imagine losing my mom and then turning on the TV and seeing all of that. Like, it's a little bit insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping that they keep them away from all of that, but imagine being 14 years old and, I guess that's what Lisa felt when her dad died. So it's just kind of vicious cycle that's continuing. And I just want to say mothers are very strong, and she might have been in pain and she might have been frail, but mothers play things off. Even if you tell your mother, you got to go to the doctor, you don't look. Moms are strong. They say, I'm fine. That's what mothers do. And I think she might have been doing that. I mean, that's what my mom would do. Yeah. Whenever my mom, something happens and we beg her and we tell her to go to the doctor, I'm fine.
Yeah, because you were obviously listening to what Cindy was saying there before you came on. Yeah, I mean, she made some good points. Why didn't somebody step in, and why did they allow her to attend those, Graceland and the Golden Globes? But maybe, as you say, maybe she was saying, I'm fine. Don't worry. Don't make a fuss. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, because women, when they become mothers, they go through so much pain for their kids, through their kids, with their kids, and they wake up in the morning and they do it, and they do what they have to do. And I think that's just kind of just a woman thing, and it's unfortunate. And I think she did die from a broken heart. Stress kills.
Yeah.
Stress and pain affects your heart.
Yeah.
And with all the DNA and everything, kind of the lineage of heart problems in the family, the stress doesn't help. The pain doesn't help. Stress kills.
Yeah.
So I couldn't imagine, and she's trying to push through, but then also with the genetic lineage that she's from, it doesn't help the situation. Similar to Elvis, I think Elvis was destined to die young, just like the book says, but his lifestyle maybe caused it to happen a little bit sooner than it did. But I feel like Elvis also, he wasn't meant to live a very long life. So, but it's very, very sad for those girls. When I heard, my mind was immediately, I just was in tears, but I was crying for the girls, for the daughters.
Yeah, they must be so devastated. It's beyond belief what they're going through, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was driving and Jack texted me, Jack Mullins. He said, Lisa's gone. I had to pull over a bit, and I was in tears for the girls. I just felt my heart just broke for them, for her daughters.
Yeah.
So because they lost their mom, and for Priscilla too, because if you look at the family photos, they're so sweet, and she's holding the baby, and Elvis is in the picture. Well, she lost the father of her child, and now the child, and like her little family is gone, and also as well as her grandchild. So, Priscilla suffered when the grandchild died because she was seeing Lisa suffer. So you feel that pain too. Right back to saying, mothers feel what their children feel. So she was feeling the pain that her daughter was feeling for her grandson.
There's an awful lot of heartache now to be sort of contended with, isn't there?
It's really, really a lot. And I wish, I don't know, you can't stop the media, right? But it's just, I hope they don't let those little girls turn the TV on, and I hope they don't take their phones away and they don't have to see any of that, because it's just like, I can't imagine, poor things. And I feel like we didn't know these people personally, but I feel what I feel like when someone from my extended family passes away, or when someone from my village passes away, that we feel it across the village, right? Like we feel it across the town, like, oh my gosh, so-and-so has passed away. This is what I feel for these people, even though I'm not, I never knew them. I don't know them, but I feel as though an extended family member has passed away.
Yes. That's exactly what we feel. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's because they opened their family to us, and they opened their lives to us, and they've given us pieces of them through their art and through their music, Lisa and her dad. So just very, very sad. I just feel very, very sad for those girls, and sad for the family. May God give them strength, and we're praying, and, it's just, I hope they get through it.
Very well said. Thank you, Salam. Thank you for calling.
Thank you, Steve.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, I saw something there from Sarah saying that she was, Lisa was the last of the dynasty, really, wasn't she? She's really the last of what you could call the main Presleys. Hello?
Hello, Steve. It's Duncan.
Well, hello, Duncan. How are you?
Yeah, okay.
I think we're all a bit
awful, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we're all a bit on a downer, aren't we?
Yeah, but thank you so much for doing the live tonight.
Not at all.
Allowing us to come together as fans and just be together.
Yeah, well, as I said earlier, I think I said to Salam there, I says, I just felt that I had to come on so it's the community could talk to one another, because at a time like this, Elvis fans do just want to speak to each other.
Absolutely, yeah. It's probably the first time I've phoned you, Steve, where I don't actually know what I want to say.
I know. Well, when I came on, I hadn't really prepared anything, because you can't prepare for something like this. I made a few brief notes of what I wanted to say, but I couldn't prepare for it.
No, you can't.
You found out like everybody else, did you, on Friday? Did you?
Yes, I did. Yeah. I'd heard the news that she was ill, and I was in the hospital on that would be the Thursday night, and it was a Friday morning when I heard. And much like when I heard about Elvis, I remember exactly where I was, and I will continue to remember exactly where I was at the time.
Yeah,
because you don't expect it. She was this young, vibrant woman.
Yes, I mean, 54 is nothing.
It's no age. It's no age at all. And everything that she'd gone through, she still, like her dad, was still, as you saw there with the birthday proclamation, and there with our Priscilla, that she was still there for the fans, the way her dad was.
Yeah.
And looking at the Golden Globes, you look now, she didn't look well. But she still went there, perhaps because she felt that was her duty to her dad and to the fans, and like Elvis, giving her all,
Yeah, she even said, didn't she, "You're the only people that can get me out of my house," meaning the fans. Yes. So that was telling. That was a very telling comment, I think.
Very much so. It was lovely to see her at the birthday proclamation.
Yeah, it was.
Because obviously she hasn't been doing, and it's that mixture of that sort of happiness at that point of seeing her doing that, and then the absolute tragedy coming afterwards, and as well coming at a time with the whole high point of the Golden Globes and the movie and her dad being spoken about even more again, and then the tragedy.
I mean, it was a crumb of comfort for her in her last few hours that how much her father was still loved and will continue to be loved.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's important when you see what is being posted in some places since then. It's important that there are channels like Elvis, the Ultimate Fan channel, where that doesn't happen, where respect is shown.
Yes.
Because when all said and done, whatever anyone's opinion is of anybody, of Priscilla, or if anybody, or any actions people have taken in their life, we're talking about a human being here.
Exactly.
Who's lost a life.
Yeah.
Exactly. And whether you agree with everything Priscilla's ever done, whether you agree with everything that anybody's ever done, doesn't matter. It doesn't enter into it.
Exactly.
On a human level, it's still a woman who's lost her daughter.
Yeah.
And it's 14-year-old girls who've lost their mum.
Yeah. Very, very, very
and,
sad.
It's just desperately, desperately sad. And it's important, I think, that we as fans are an antidote to the vile bile that's getting written.
Yeah. Yes.
Because there's no place for that.
No.
None whatsoever. And I think that's why it's important that we do things like send a floral tribute, do things together as fans to show respect and to show that we care.
Yeah. I think the floral tribute is a very, very, very good idea. I would just love if it can all come together, and we will work on that. And
absolutely,
we'll talk more about it next week.
I mean, you can. I believe you can. From florists in one country, you can buy floral tributes that they wire it through to other countries.
Right. Okay.
And then a florist nearby to where it's to be delivered makes it up and delivers it. I think that's a thing.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, well, I'm sure we will pursue that anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks, Duncan.
Lovely to talk to you,
Thanks,
Steve.
Duncan. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I've got a super chat here from Wicked Felina. That's a nice name, Wicked Felina. Spiritual Rosary live stream for Lisa and the Presley family tonight. Thank you for today's live stream. And thank you, Wicked Felina. Very good. Right. I don't know how to get that off the screen. Don't know why that's still on there. There it goes. Thanks, Wicked Felina. I'd like to thank Kathy Chambers for ringing in. Okay, here we go. Hello.
Oh, hi, Steve. It's Kathy, all the way from New Zealand.
Wow, you are a long way away. Yes, New Zealand. Hello, Kathy.
Yeah. Hi, I just want to say thank you so much. I actually gave up half an hour ago, so thank you for carrying on.
All right.
A bit longer for us today.
Yeah, the lines were busier tonight.
Absolutely, and yeah, it's obvious why.
Yeah, obvious why.
Yeah, I feel like you all do. Just shocked and absolutely heartbroken. I'm about the same. I'm just a little bit older than Lisa, but I'm so jealous of Priscilla just being over there, because I watched it live and I thought, right, now that Lisa's doing this, I'll go next time, because it's been a goal of mine to meet her.
Yeah.
I've met her mother a couple of times, but that was my next biggest goal, and I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Yeah, very, very sudden.
Very sudden, and I agree with everyone too that she the more I look at that last footage, she looked sick, very sick, and I do want to say I have no doubt that those around her have been suggesting that she gets help. I'd hate for them to hear that they're getting, they're in grief, Danny and Priscilla, and I don't think they need to feel the guilt of hearing they perhaps didn't do anything. That kind of hurts me a bit.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, at the end of the day, it was probably Lisa's. It was up to her. So. It was up to her that she did the birthday proclamation, and then she did.
She was so like her father.
Yeah,
yeah. But she was so like her dad, wasn't she?
Yeah,
inside and out. Yeah.
I mean, Elvis always made the final decision, and I'm sure that Lisa made the final decision to go to Graceland and to go to the Golden Globes and so forth. So, as you say, they shouldn't have any guilt or anything to beat themselves up about.
No, they should not. And to be honest, I found Priscilla lovely, really lovely, and I'm really worried about her now. I don't know whether whether she can get through this. It's going to be the worst thing is to lose your child.
It's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
No. I mean, she's strong, but I don't think anyone can be that strong. And she has been getting smaller and smaller, I've noticed, too.
Yeah.
So she'll be, like you say, she's lost her grandson and now her daughter.
Yeah.
And she'll be so worried about those children.
Yeah. Well, that'll be priority. That will be the priority now, won't it? Is to make sure that Finlay and Harper are sort of guided as best they could through this troubled time.
That's right. I mean, she had them for a while, didn't she? When Michael and Lisa were having big problems. Another thought I've just been having is about Danny and the fact that he's been there, and I can't help but wonder whether perhaps none of this would have happened if she'd never left him, because he seems like the love of her life, the most stable partner she ever had.
Yeah. I mean, I think she went on record as saying even though they divorced, he is still one of her best friends, if not her best friend.
Yes, I remember reading that. And too, I think she said that she just had to leave him because she felt so bad for him. She was sort of he was in her shadow.
Yeah.
But I just, can't help wonder what if.
It's obvious they still deeply cared for one another.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm so pleased to hear he was there.
Yeah.
And he's there for his daughter.
Okay, Kathy. Well, thank you very, very much.
One more thing.
Yes, certainly. Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to be gloomy, but I've been listening to her album, and that song, "The Lights Out in Memphis." All those words. It talks about. I know there's a space there for me in that damned backyard.
That's right.
And it's just,
Well, I think she knew her destiny, didn't she?
She did.
Yeah, she definitely did.
Yeah, I think you're right. She did. I don't think she thought she was going to be here a long time.
Okay.
Either.
Lovely call. Thanks, Kathy.
All right.
Nice to speak to you.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, someone turned the lights out there in Memphis. Yeah, Lights Out from her first album, wasn't it? To Whom It May Concern. And there's another one as well, isn't there? Which was Nobody Noticed It, which she wrote about Elvis. You should maybe check that one out as well. Kirsty Marie, thank you, Steve and the Elvis family. Great calls as usual. Yes, I hasten. I'm not. What's the word I'm trying to think of? I'm loath to say it's been a good show because obviously under the circumstances it's not really good, but I see what people mean. Hello, Brian.
Hello, how you doing?
Not too bad. Good to speak to you, Brian.
Likewise. I'm still heartbroken and in disbelief about Lisa Marie.
Yeah, as we all are.
Yeah.
When did you find out? Did you find out? I mean, of course, the time difference was different with me. I found out Friday morning.
I was awake Thursday night when it was still like early Thursday evening when I found out. 8 o'clock, because I kept looking on the internet on MSN and Google.
Yeah, you probably thought like me that she would be okay and they would care for her and she'd be out of hospital in a few weeks and maybe get a little bit more healthier than maybe she had been.
I was hoping, but from what I seen when they showed that last interview with her after Austin won his Golden Globe, I don't know, she looked weak, frail.
I thought she looked frail, yeah, but not to the extent that I thought we were going to lose her.
Well, yeah. Never thought of it that way, but
okay,
it's sad though. It's sad. I feel for her children.
Yeah,
I feel for her mother. You know.
Yeah, of course.
It's not easy to lose. It's not easy to lose your grandson and your daughter.
No.
And the husband, the father of your child, your one only child. So.
Yeah. It's rough, and it's going to be a rough time ahead as well. Unfortunately, you just feel that this will have big repercussions for the family for quite a while yet.
Yes, I'm just hoping that with Priscilla it doesn't end up the way it did with Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds. If you remember what happened there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, our thoughts and prayers and everything go out to all the Presley families and obviously, as I said at the start, Riley and the twins and Priscilla, and hope they can get strength.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for calling in, Brian.
Also for Danny Keogh too.
Yeah. Danny seems very, very good.
Yes. Yeah. God bless him.
Yes. Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.
All the best.
You too. Likewise.
Bye-bye. Yeah, as I was going to say, thanks very, very much for all the callers that called in and to share their thoughts today. It has actually made me feel a little bit better than when I started. It's still something that we've all got to get our head around, and there will be a lot to contend with as an Elvis fan over the next few weeks and months. We know there's going to be a lot of nonsense coming out as well, but if we can keep the positive thoughts and the nice thoughts and all things about Lisa and her father, all the better. And with that, I'm going to sign off with this.